Welcome to Law and Earp with TopShelf Law. I'm Kay,
And I'm Jay.
and this broadcast is now in session.
Plot twist, we have a podcast.
Can you believe that?
How did we get here?
I have no idea.
I don't know what
I
we're
still
doing.
can't believe that we're actually doing this right now.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's incredible.
I love this so much.
Me too.
But seriously, let's just go over how we got here.
Well, first things first, Winona Earp. All things Winona Earp.
Yes.
I mean, we have to go back to the beginning, which, just so some of you Earpers know, we're fairly new Earpers. I mean,
We're infant Earpers.
yeah, we're babies, kind of from the beginning. I mean, definitely not 2016. We're talking late fall 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like in the midst of COVID.
Oh, yeah, it was a solid lockdown
Yeah.
binge.
Yeah. And so I remember it was about September 2020, and I was just watching TV, and this commercial came on Sci-Fi for the show called Winona Earp. And prior to this, I had never heard of this show. I had no idea what it was, but the commercial came on, I saw it, and then it ended, and I didn't think twice about it. It was there and then it was gone.
Right.
Now, go about a month later, I'm on Twitter, as you do, and I'm scrolling through and I see something about like these gay and lesbian couples. And I see a photo of this one couple and I'm like, I haven't seen them before.
Oh, we know that you're on top of all of this.
Right. And to not have seen one.
Who are you? Where have you been all my life?
Right. I was like, okay, we're going to check this out. And then I study up a little bit. Sure enough, this couple is from Winona Earp. And I'm like, what? Like, the odds of that are insane because,
Right.
A month ago, I had never even heard of the show. And now I'm like researching characters that are in it.
I would have never heard of it if it wasn't for you.
Right? We'll get there, guys. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
So I find the show. First 3 seasons are on Netflix. I watch the first episode, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if I'm sold yet. Like, I kind of like the premise. I like the idea. I like turning an old Western on its head, female lead, awesome. But I'm not bought in yet, if that makes sense.
No, I'm with you.
And so I'm like, okay, but we'll keep trucking along. So get to the second episode. Nicole Hott walks into a bar.
And Waverly Earp rips off her shirt.
And honestly, what more could you ask for from a show?
Really not much more.
Seriously, I mean, real life goals. And so now I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. We're in it for the long haul.
I am here for this.
I'm here. Let's go. So I continue watching. I get through all 3 seasons on Netflix. I find 4A on the Sci-Fi app. Get through all of those, which were incredible for obvious reasons. And that took me about 3.5 weeks, which I considered pretty fast for me.
Oh, and you're working full time?
Yeah, right. So I got through it and I'm just like, I'm blown away. I can't believe how good this show is. I can't believe the representation, the positivity.
Oh, I know.
And
I heard about it.
oh, you did. All of these things are just like bouncing off the walls in my brain. And I remember coming over to your house and I'm just like in a twist about it.
I think twist is putting it lightly.
That's probably true.
It was more of a
Frantic?
what?
Mania?
Obsessive compulsive.
You know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
I accept that.
I'm there.
That's okay.
We're all there.
We are all there.
It's until
That's why we're here.
until you get to the cliff. And just jump and go for it.
And now we're flying.
And now we're flying. Here we are.
But you remember me coming to your house being like, you have to watch this show.
Oh my God. In your defense, you have never led me astray.
Thank you. That's true.
You have done this throughout our friendship.
Yes.
We've been best friends for 10
Ever.
years.
Yeah.
Right. And you've always been like, hey, listen to this song, or hey, read this book.
Right.
Or hey, watch this. And when you tell me things like that, I know you are trying to communicate things that you don't have the words for yet.
Oh, that's a great way of putting it.
I know you.
It's true, you do.
Yeah, I do. So I've always listened to that because that's you trying to communicate what's going on in your life. And so, back in the day, whether it's like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, you're like, you need to read this.
Oh, great book.
I read it in a night because you told me to. But in my defense, because you were nagging me about this.
I was nagging, guys. Like, it was pretty rough.
Like, I am in the busiest time of my life.
Insanity.
Like,
you
pure
had no
insanity.
time.
No, I literally had no time. And you're like, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. I'm like, I will. I promise I will. I promise I will. I just can't right now.
Right.
I can't right now. I can't right now. I can't right now. And then you broke me.
I did.
And then in probably the busiest moment of my fall, I was like, play.
And I remember you watched the first episode and you were like, what's going on?
I'm like, okay.
And I was like, just wait.
Just wait.
Keep watching.
Like, okay. So obviously I get to episode 2. And then.
Okay, so she gets to episode 2, guys.
Yeah.
In the same day that she started episode 1. 72 hours later, she is done with the show.
Yeah. Guilty as charged.
I mean, pat yourself on the back because getting through all of that fast,
it's like I literally could not stop.
you can't put it down.
No.
Yeah,
I did have to stop to sleep,
true, as one does.
but you would kind of be like, well, where are you right now?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, I'm at this point. And you're like, I think you can do a couple more episodes, or you should stop now.
Yeah, like now's a good time to take a break.
Like when I got to the point where I was in 4A, you're like, just go like 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Don't watch 1, 2 at a
If
time.
you're going to watch 401, you have to get through 402.
And I just want to take a moment and thank all the OG Earpers that fought for season 4.
Oh my God, yes.
I cannot imagine watching the end of 3 and then waiting for 2 years to see 4.
I can't, like, even watching 4A and waiting the time that we did for 4B, which comes out Friday, March 5th, I can't imagine. So, really, thank you guys for putting in all of that work and all of that fight for that long. I mean,
It's incredible.
it's a testament
It really is
to
a
this
testament.
community.
Yes, to the community, to the show, to how powerful positive representation is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, that's why we're here. If the show wasn't representing us in a positive manner, or, we're going to get killed off.
Right. As it has historically always been, or for the most part. I won't say
God.
everything.
Yeah, or just this tragic love story.
Yeah. It's just, there's something to be said about, and I hate to use the word, but normality in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's just, they are this, but that's not the only reason they're here. It's
Right.
just a part of the show.
Right.
It's not treated as something unique or different. It's just,
It's people in love.
it's
People love each
in
other.
love. Yeah,
And that's what I think I love about Winona Earp is
me too.
it's insane.
It
come on.
It's batshit crazy.
It's batshit crazy. You've got revenants, you've got curses, you've got vampires, you've got demons.
You've got people and frogs.
Kermie.
I know.
You've got all this crazy stuff, and the normal part of the show is the love.
Yeah.
The love between two sisters, the love between Nicole and Waverly. I mean,
And then the friendships.
And the friendships. It really is about love. And I look at their family,
Yeah.
quote unquote, like with Nedley and Doc and everybody.
Yeah.
And I think so many of us see our community of friends, our chosen family,
Absolutely.
of like, oh yeah, like
Your found family.
Yeah, your found family.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have straight friends, I have bi friends, I have, queer friends.
Yeah.
And we all just love each other.
Right.
And they don't care.
There's no discussion about who you love.
No, they want
It's
you
just
to
about
be
everybody loving each other and being there.
and being happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Supporting everything.
it's a microcosm. It
Yeah.
really is a microcosm.
Yeah.
Like, there's the insanity in the world.
Right.
Insanity obviously looks different to different people.
Mm-hmm.
Revenants. COVID,
Vampires. Yeah.
vampires. But the love part is normal and healthy and real, and that's what life is.
Absolutely.
And that's why the show is so addicting.
Oh, yeah.
It's positive representation, and there's no coming out story.
Right.
And I think just normalizing, like, oh, okay,
This
cool.
is who I am.
This is who I like. This is who I love. Cool, cool, cool.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
We're not going to make it this.
Let's go kill a demon.
Yeah, exactly. We've got things to do. So, yeah, obsessed with Winona Earp. Absolutely love it. You know, we've gotten through all of 3 and 4A. We're just Earping along.
We are
Rewatching the show.
Yeah, I've already started a rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
This week.
I've watched it twice through.
This is my 3rd time. So I started Earping end of November.
Yeah, I started Earping in early October.
Yeah. And so I'm on rewatch 3.
You are ahead of me.
I am. And I am living for it. And I feel like, okay, so I'm going to admit this, the first time I watched the show, I watched it for Way Hot.
I mean, that's fair.
We're gay.
I feel like I led you that direction, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The second time, I watched it more for the totality of it.
Right.
And then the third time, so right now, I really feel like I'm watching it for all the little nuances and just appreciating every little moment of it. So I'm actually not powering through it like I did the first time.
Savoring it a little bit more.
I am absolutely savoring it. Like, I am trying to live in that moment with them. And it's exciting to have it come up like we know. So we're recording this on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And obviously Friday we get 4B.
Oh my God,
so,
I can't wait.
Like, just reliving all these little moments and knowing, like, all the inside jokes that are just gonna just explode. And we saw those pictures and the trailers and the teasers.
Oh God,
yesterday.
yeah. So this is being filmed on Saturday. Guys, yesterday was the day that the world ended. We got the sneak peeks from 4B.
Shooketh.
And the engagement photos.
Ugh, the ring.
My God, the couch.
The couch.
Listen, and we also had a power hour that night too.
Oh my God.
But we were so close to just making a snap announcement that we were going to cancel it because of all of the gay panic in the world yesterday. Oh my God.
It was, like, amazing. Like, I was not available the whole day.
No.
And I would come back and I'd have like a million texts from you.
Yeah.
And I would look and I was like, oh my God, what happened? And at one point I was driving and you're like, okay, when you're done driving, you need to watch this video. And so I would get to where I'm going and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And I started getting emotional at that point. And that's when we sent out the tweet thanking Emily.
Oh, right.
Of just pure gratitude. Like, because it finally felt like, you know, we identify as gay.
Right.
And so when we say gay, we're referring to ourselves. But for you and me, I felt like it was the first time we've ever been positively rewarded for being gay.
Absolutely. I mean, and not to say, obviously, we had some fake proposals.
Right.
One beautiful real proposal in here. Fireside, my goodness.
Top shelf.
So not necessarily like the only time, but like this moment feels bigger.
It does feel bigger because we weren't there for everything rolling out.
True.
So like
we're
for us,
experiencing this
for the first time.
Anew.
Yeah, anew. Absolutely. And I was thinking about it, and I didn't even tell you this, so I'm going to drop it right here.
Okay.
So I was driving yesterday and I was just listening to music and I was thinking about 4B and what it means to us. And for so long I feel like I've said, you know, well, being gay is just part of who I am.
Right.
Like, it's not all of me. Well, watching everything roll out yesterday and seeing the positive representation and everything that's going on, I'm like, being gay is a great part of me. It's one of the best parts of me because that's how I love. That's how I have empathy.
Right.
That's how I have perspective and understanding.
Yeah.
And I was just so freaking grateful to be gay.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt yesterday.
And I feel like so many people can see that in themselves yesterday. It's just this overwhelming appreciation to be who you are.
Absolutely. Like, I felt rewarded.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that that's so big because you feel that it so rarely happens.
Absolutely. Like, it was a moment of just pure gratitude of, like, I am so glad I am who I am.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I was just like, wow. Like, and that's where that tweet came from.
Yeah.
It was just like a moment
Just
of,
raw emotion in
it
that
was
moment.
raw emotion.
Yeah.
Like, there might have been a few tears here and there.
That's okay.
But what? Like, thank you.
Yeah, what a ride.
What a ride.
Yeah. And it's not over.
No, and then us doing this podcast, so we're going to talk about ourselves a little bit later. But this is so out of character for us.
Yeah. This is insane. Like, it's out of character, but it's also kind of in character because
It's so
we're introverted.
We're so introverted. We're INFJs.
Yeah.
INFJs quietly unite.
We love you guys.
We love
We
you.
love everybody else too, by the way.
But INFJs, that's who we are. So us having this podcast is so quote unquote out of character, but it truly is authentic to ourselves and who we are.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it kind of, so like we said, we're rewatching, we're appreciating all the things that are happening. This is January, early November, or early February. And just kind of having fireside chats about the show.
Oh, we literally had fireside chats like at least once a week
Oh, yeah.
for
A solid month.
a solid month.
Yeah, just literally talking about the show, things that we loved about it, why we thought it was important, going back and forth. And then February 5th. Talk about a bombshell.
Well, let's go back a step because you literally were asking me or needing reassurance almost every day. Like, there's going to be a season 5, right? They can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah. And like listing why. And I'm like, no, 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 no. There's no way. Like, absolutely not. Like, they would
It wouldn't
never,
make sense.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then,
Lo and behold,
so we actually have personal Twitter accounts,
we do.
which clearly are not as fun as Top Shelf.
No.
Law.
You know the last time I've been on my own Twitter account? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't.
It's
Whatever.
fine.
It's fine. we're over it.
It's fine. I don't even need it.
But we had alerts set up on Emily.
Yeah.
And the alert came through.
I remember texting you.
Yeah, That's exactly what the text was. Like, I have no words. I can't get anything out.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't know what to say.
And I could feel you spiraling
Instantly.
across town.
Yeah, instantly.
Like, instantly. And I was like, oh, I was really kind of hoping
That my positive reassurance was going to come through.
Exactly. I'm a power positive thinking kind of person. Like,
Listen, I was manifesting with you. I was like, okay, you're right. Let's just throw it out in the universe.
Manifesting
Season 5 is
season 5.
coming. And then,
Shazam.
oh God, honestly, like, joking aside, heartbreaking.
Oh, devastating.
Yeah.
Absolutely devastating.
So I'll let you take the lead on
I'll
where
take the
we
lead on
went
this.
from here.
So, okay. We're texting back and forth. Obviously, the announcement comes out. And I'm like, oh, crap. What am I going to do with you?
Truly.
So you're like, I'm going to go work out. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, how am I going to deal with her? Because
She's going to be a mess.
You were a mess.
I was already. True.
And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, just come over. We'll have a fire. We'll talk about it. Like, you know. Oh, and our fires are socially distant. And
We're 6 feet apart right
we're
now.
we're 6 feet apart. We have barriers.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
This is COVID approved.
Yes, we are pro COVID protocol.
Yes.
So I'm like, just come over after working out. We'll have a fire. We'll burn some stuff. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll process together. And you're like, okay, fine. And I was like, okay. And I was sitting there and I was like, I was frustrated because I love the show. Don't get me wrong, but I saw what this show means to you
Yeah.
and just the positive representation and how powerful that is in your life.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time you've ever seen yourself before.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
on screen.
First time I saw myself as something that wasn't to be an outlier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Like it wasn't me or a version of me being highlighted for a particular reason. It was just this is this person.
It wasn't a movie about you being sent off to some reparative therapy camp.
Or like the
Or
torture that is coming out. And
which
some
are
of those, all valid.
all valid,
And they're
all
all real.
powerful.
But
Yes.
the ability to showcase something like this where it's just you and it's okay
Yeah.
and nobody makes a big deal about it and we all go on continuing our lives and loving you the same way,
Yeah.
like the gravity of that.
Yes. 110%.
Yeah.
I know the power that has in your life. And I was like, well, I'm a good best friend.
This is true.
Thank you. What are we going to do? And I did a thing.
You did a thing.
I created our Twitter account.
You did.
And you came over, and I'm sitting by the fire. I'm like, so I did a thing. I made you something.
And I'm like, oh my God, what did you do? And mind you, just for a little reference, this happened on February 5th.
Yes.
So we're not even a month in to our Twitterverse.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just wanted people to have a little background.
I mean,
on
like,
when that
we're
happened.
professionally Twitter pros in our personal lives.
Agreed.
Personal branding, all that fun stuff.
Right.
Is our jam. But TopShelf Law?
TopShelf Law.
Top shelf, man. Top shelf. Yeah, so that was just kind of a whim. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, let's come up with this account. What sets us apart? Well,
Like, how can we make a little niche area for us?
we're lawyers.
Right?
We're really funny
Most of the time.
with ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, will everybody else find us funny?
Yeah.
Well, heck, we're going to throw it out there and...
Well, and then also just to kind of join the fight. To do something. I think was your biggest thing for me. You were
it
like,
was
you
to do
need
something.
an outlet.
I felt handcuffed and not in the good way.
Yeah. They weren't pink and fuzzy.
They weren't pink and fuzzy. I felt like I felt like this was being taken away from us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, there's no way for the first time that you feel seen that I'm going to let somebody try to take this from you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what can we do? And I was just so frustrated.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're going to join the fight. But we're going to join the fight together.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here
we
we
created
are.
Top Shelf Law. We sat there, we started doing a few tweets, and people thought we were funny.
Yeah.
And I think bringing joy to people in this really just hard time in the world, A. B, and the show that we all love is
Bringing all of us
in
together.
peril again, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And
And
I mean, if you had asked me, like, what do you expect to get out of this experience? I would have said at the time, this is really for us to feel like we're doing something about it. Because you can only do so much as one individual.
Right.
But when you join a community like this, you feel like you're all doing something bigger. And so I think that was the general idea. Did we expect it to turn into this? No, absolutely
no,
not.
Absolutely not. I wanted to help the hashtags,
Yeah.
like the numbers. I wanted to help just kind of put more positive energy and vibes out there for
Yeah.
the show. And here we are.
Yeah.
I
Unreal.
did not expect it to turn into what it has.
Me neither.
I did not expect for us to be doing a podcast in our podcasting room.
Oh my God, I know.
I love our podcasting room.
It is awesome. But yeah, so there's things we did and didn't expect, but if you ask me like what I did want out of it, whether I was hoping that it happened or not, would be to, because for me, it was a real struggle. But I'm like, if we can make people laugh and laugh
Yes.
ourselves while we're kind of going through this difficult time, I think it might make things a little bit easier. Like, I'm not saying it's going to fix the problem, obviously, like when we get our show back, that's when the problem will be solved. But I think going along this journey and just trying to show some love and bring some light and happiness to people while we do it, like, what more can you ask for?
It's therapeutic
Yeah.
for us. And it's therapeutic for everybody else.
I totally agree.
And we've met some really cool people so
We
far.
have.
Our good buddy Dee.
Shout out to
out.
Dee.
Love
Go follow
Dee.
her. She's incredible.
She is incredible. But we've just met people from all over the world.
And where else is that going to happen? What kind of forum are you going to be able to have that kind of experience other than this? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, we're new Earpers, so we never really got to go to the cons and stuff. So, like, yeah, you get to meet people from all over the world at those things, but we didn't start this until we were living in a pandemic. So, to have this profile and to be able to interact with all these people from different corners of the world, I mean, that's incredible.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
And, you know, we posted that, the one question about, well, actually it was first it was a statement about positive, why we fight is for positive representation.
Yeah.
And then we put to the question out there to everybody else, and how the stories can be the same from one side of the globe to the other.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful, because I think that really speaks to the human experience.
Yeah. I mean, we're all interconnected in a way. And I think that
yes.
another beautiful thing about this show is it does a great job of letting you see that in
Yes.
different people around the world.
Yes. How
Everything is just interlaced.
innately we are all the same.
Yeah.
We all love, we all hurt, we all cry,
Yeah.
we all laugh. And I think the world would be a better place if we could start to realize these things about one another.
Totally agree.
And that's what Earpers do.
Yeah.
They embrace each other. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful community, and I just feel so honored to be a part of it.
Me too. Same.
Instead of just being, hanging out in the shadows of, oh, well, I really like this show. Hey.
Well, and then also
Yeah.
talking about how frustrated we are, but not trying to do anything about it.
Right.
Like, yeah, taking a positive step forward.
My literal biggest pet peeve, when people complain about a situation, but they don't do anything to change it.
Right.
Because
Control the things that you can control.
absolutely.
You can control if you're involved or not. And that's not to say people have busy and crazy lives, especially everything going on right now. So those of you fighting alongside us, day in and day out,
Yeah.
every hour on the hour, we love you. Those of you that are joining maybe once a week, we love you just as much.
You're fighting the same fight.
Exactly.
We all are. And some of you that maybe aren't in a position to be open about being an Earper, you're still there with us.
And we see you,
And
we're
we're
always
fighting
here for you.
Yeah, we're going to be loud and proud for the first times in
yeah,
our life.
Absolutely.
And we're fighting, we're fighting for you. We're fighting alongside you. And I mean, we all have the same goal. Let's get more positive representation.
Yeah. Hopefully through more Winona Earp if we can.
Manifesting
Yeah.
season 5
Manifesting
through 20.
season 5. So this account has helped us, and we hope it's helped you guys. But yeah, to get into a little bit more about who we are, like Jay said, we've been best friends for 10 years.
Yeah, like 10
That
years.
sounds insane.
Where does time go?
You want to know what's even crazier? Is like we've known each other for 18.
I definitely have the pictures to prove that.
Oh my God. That long?
Yeah,
It's insane.
it really is insane when you come down to it.
So we know you guys probably wonder, and we've gotten a lot of questions, who's behind this account, because there's no photos. We never say who we are. There's only the two of us, me, Kay, you.
Me, Jay.
Yeah. And we're still not going to tell you everything about ourselves, but we're saying it now. It's on the podcast. We do promise to do so. We will have a reveal once season 5 starts filming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will do it then.
When they are boots on the ground in Alberta.
Yes.
Alberta is rolling.
Yes, when Alberta is rolling.
We will come out.
We will. We'll do a podcast about it.
We'll
Why
totally
not?
do a podcast
Yeah.
about it.
Preferably from Alberta.
Preferably from Alberta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Are you
give me
on
some
set?
Canadian Rockies
Yeah.
right now.
So now that you know there's two of us, you guys, can you tell a difference when we're tweeting?
Definitely.
Do you think that they can?
I think Dee can tell now. Like, she knows.
She
like,
does.
she totally knows. But yeah, I'm wondering if you guys have any idea. Like, because we
Like,
do
do you
collaborate.
get different vibes?
Yeah, do you get different vibes? We do collaborate. We also do our own tweets.
Yeah.
Sometimes we tweet the same things at the same time, and I'm like,
That's pretty good.
and it's like the Spider-Man meme, like,
Yeah.
and then sometimes we just go rogue and have a dissertation about how certain who is making us feel.
That was Jay. I just
That
want
was
you guys
me.
to know that was not me.
No, that was me. I totally went off, and then I was done. I was like, I can't. I'm emotionally
She was
drained.
venting a little bit.
I was venting. I was definitely venting.
Yeah. Did you feel better after?
I was drained.
Yeah.
I was absolutely like just emotionally drained,
about
like
the
just the
day.
anticipation of they're releasing some stuff right now.
Yeah.
And kudos to them, they have a great lineup of shows.
They do.
And
They do.
they've got some positive representation. But just the anxiety of just like thinking there could be a
We just want
possibility
our
of hope.
show, guys. That's all.
Just give us our show.
There's no hate, only love. We just want our show.
Pure love.
Yeah.
And I do want us to take this moment to thank Sci-Fi
Yeah.
for giving us this show.
Absolutely.
And, you and I both understand that the business that we're in.
It doesn't always shake out the way you want it to.
There are decisions being made that it's a numbers game, or it's,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Not to say that they don't love the show also.
Exactly.
Right.
And they aren't proud of it, but it's a business.
Yeah.
And, sometimes decisions, we don't understand what's going on in the boardroom.
And, I mean, if you think about the timing of this decision, I don't think it could have come at a better time for Earpers, because you're
Yes.
giving them a heads up before 4B. And, I mean, the tweet storms were already going to be insane every Friday night. But now you've given them the fire and the drive to fight like this every day in between. And then those days, on those Fridays, it's going to be twice as much activity on Twitter as it normally would be, because we're fighting for our show.
Yeah. I mean, they rolled out that announcement 1 month prior to 4B showing.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, they literally did it at the best time. If you're not going to renew, you did it at the best time.
Yeah, I agree.
Because now these other networks can sit back, they can see the fandom, they can see the power, they can see the reach.
Right.
And hopefully they'll pick us up and they're going to monetize us.
Yeah.
Because Earpers will
As
pay.
they should.
As they should. Please monetize me.
Yeah. Let me take all of my money.
Take all.
Seriously, you
Here
can
is
have
my
it.
401k.
Yeah, you can have it. Just give me my show.
Just give me my
Preferably
show.
like 6 more seasons, but I won't be picky.
Right.
Yeah.
But, take my 401k.
Yeah, you can have it. It's fine.
You can have all of it.
If you keep making this show, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Earpers out there would say the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, here, yeah, we'll pay for it. We'll pay for whatever platform. We'll do it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look at the cons and how much they're able to bring in.
Well, and the fan funded.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's insane.
You've got the Sci-Fi one, but so many of these cons are fan funded all over the world. It's
Yes.
incredible.
And a big piece of this is, I know we're all online right now with all this, Zoom and all those virtual cons, but look at the economic impact, that it has on Alberta.
Yeah.
The millions and millions of dollars that they're bringing into that economy. Look at the cons, wherever they're being held, the economic impact there, whether it's in Toronto or San Diego or New York City or wherever these cons are being held. You're helping a local economy.
Yeah.
I mean, look what, the reach, you're employing people. And I think right now, in a pandemic and seeing everything with the job market, everything that's going on with the global economy, I think the best thing that you can do is to help other people. And Winona Earp does that in so many different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So, networks, pick us up, because we will spend our money on you.
And we literally are that gif of Winona from 4B, just
Throwing
shelling
that
out.
money out.
It's making it rain, baby. Making
I will
it
do
rain.
that to any network.
Oh, yes. That would be a good tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we got on Twitter.
Insane.
That's how we got. It's insane. And
I know we've said that a lot, guys, but like,
it really is.
it really is. And I didn't anticipate being here in this way. And shout out to you guys, again, who have been fighting from the beginning, because this
Heroes.
is a job. I mean, and that is not to say
Dude.
that I don't love doing this. I do. But it is a second full-time job.
Yes, it is.
It is, and because we're so invested in this show and what it means to us, it is very emotionally draining.
It is. It really is. And especially for two introverts, two INFJs. Like,
All the stimulation going on.
yeah. So we try to respond as much as we can
Yes.
to tweets. I've had to, and I think you ended up doing the same thing. I had to turn off all my Twitter sounds,
Oh yeah, it was just
and then my
constant,
like the
buzzing.
pop down notifications, they're
banners.
gone. The banners are gone.
Yeah.
Because it was just a steady stream, which is amazing. We love
No,
it.
it's
Keep it up.
beautiful, and please don't ever stop doing it. And also know that we do, like, I think one of the main things when we realized, or maybe not realized, but thought this might get a little bit bigger than it was that we wanted to continue interacting with everybody, and that was a
Yes.
very important part of what we were doing. So we do try to get to all of you guys. I know we miss some of you, and it's not intentional, and we love all of you.
Absolutely.
But it sometimes it's for two people, it's a lot to manage, and I hope we're doing, or you think that we're doing a good job.
We're trying to do it justice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's just go back to this, because this, like, we both sat there reading all of these responses when we talked about the positive representation. That's why we're fighting, and then people started sharing their story of why Winona Earp is so important to them. And we tried to go back through and comment, and because there are these beautiful, heartfelt
Just so open.
stories,
Yeah.
open, just so authentic.
Raw and honest.
Brene Brown would be just
Oh,
so
so
proud,
pleased.
so pleased.
Yes.
We love Brene, and they were beautiful.
They were.
And that's also kind of a reason why we're doing the podcast, is because these people, you guys, were sharing these intimate stories with us that are just so beautiful and powerful, and we know what it takes to share that
Yeah.
with another person, let alone on Twitter.
A
With people,
community.
a community, and people you've never met.
Right. But I think also to highlight the other side of it, one of the best things about this community is that it is a space where you feel safe to share that story.
So safe.
You know, like, and I'm sure there's other communities you can say that of, but I think this one, like for me
So loving.
especially, like the love and the camaraderie and the community and the acceptance and like the no questioning. It's just, we're here and we love you.
Yeah, it's like, whoever you are, whatever your heart is, we love you.
Exactly.
Just be a good person.
Right. Polite, no chill.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what we can all aspire to be. Is just
Absolutely.
just good people, and love one another for their souls.
Yeah.
And we wanted to share, everybody was so vulnerable and authentic with us, and vulnerability is power. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
We are doing something outside of our comfort zone,
Yes.
but also still very authentic
To who we are.
to our character.
Right. And like we said, we know we haven't given away exactly who we are. We are playing on that a little bit, but we did want to share some stuff about us with you guys because you were so
Absolutely.
open and vulnerable with us.
Absolutely. And as we learned, our story is not much different than your story.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the UK or New Zealand,
Brazil.
I mean, my gosh, like just people all over the world,
It's incredible.
or North America. Like our stories can be so similar. And here we are.
And here we are. And I think that kind of goes back to like the love and community we have for the show, because you see yourself so unapologetically on screen. And I think like what was the first time you saw yourself on screen? Like, do you remember? Or like, and maybe not even in a positive way, but just like when you saw yourself on screen.
I do. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen this movie, Monster, with Charlize Theron.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
Oh,
for
God.
some, so I remember watching this. This movie came out in 2003, I think.
Okay.
So if anybody's not familiar with Monster, it's a movie about serial killer Eileen Wuornos, and Charlize Theron is top shelf in that. I mean, she's just an incredible actress. But there is a scene, and it's the first time I think I ever saw two women kiss on screen.
Oh, okay.
They're at this roller skating rink. And guess what song's playing?
What?
Don't Stop Believing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to our Power Hour from Friday night.
And I was like, oh my God. When our Power Hour was top shelf.
It was.
But when I saw them kiss, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, it ingrained in me.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, but how sad is it that I'm telling you this story?
Yeah.
And it's a movie about a female
Serial
killer who has been since put to death, I think like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think early 2000s is when her sentence was executed. But
Yeah.
a serial killer.
Yeah. That's the first time you see yourself on screen.
Yes.
Insane.
And here we are 20 years later.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Winona Earp.
Yeah.
And a happy ending.
Right.
Just a happy freaking ending.
The power of it, man.
Oh, there's so much power to it. But yeah, like I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, a serial killer.
Well, see, for me, it was Buffy. Willow.
You know, I never actually watched Buffy.
Oh my God.
I
People are
know.
going to shame you for that
I
sentence.
know. I watched Charmed.
Also, I support you guys shaming her.
Hey, 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 hey.
Just kidding, just kidding. But yeah, it was Willow and Buffy. So good. So good. You watch Winona Earp, but you haven't watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Did our friendship just shift?
Like,
was there a shift? Did anybody else just
guys,
feel
okay,
that
we
shift?
have to end the podcast right now.
Unplug. We're done. TopShelf Law is over.
But so that was it, and like it's kind of sort of there's positive edges to it, but if you're not familiar with Buffy, like the show's a little intense, a little emotionally intense, kind of like Winona Earp in that way. But at the same time, I still didn't really see me. And I think that's one of the reasons so many people love Nicole Hott, because like Emily said, she never doesn't identify. She
Right.
doesn't apologize for who she is. She just is this person, you know?
Ugh.
And she makes no apologies for who she is.
Exactly.
But she's not like pigeonholed into this
No.
one-dimensional character. She's
No.
very three-dimensional, and I think people love that about her, and that's why they identify so well.
It's just responses that we got is they said the first time they saw themselves was when Nicole walked in to Shorty's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Which
that's
is
incredible.
crazy.
Which is crazy.
2016?
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah. And I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And then that's what spawned me to like, okay, well, have I ever seen myself?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not, but until this show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's truly wonderful.
Yeah. So like after now watching it, how do you feel like the show's made you any different?
Oh my God. I feel like Winona with the trophy, walking out with a big
Flipping 'em
middle,
off.
just flipping them off. Because, and we'll have another podcast about kind of our coming out stories and all of that. So
That's a whole big
that's a
conversation.
whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are going to be interested to join us in future podcasts and all of that moving forward. But I find myself wanting to be more authentic and throwing more caution to the wind of, like, you know what?
This is
who I am, and who I am is a beautiful person, and who cares who I love.
Right.
You know what? It like I said earlier, being gay is a great part of me.
Yeah.
It's how I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I get my empathy,
Yeah.
my understanding, my perspective.
Right.
And it's so my internal monologue before was just like, well, it's just not all of who I am.
Right.
No, it's a great part of me.
It's almost like, and I would agree with that. Like, if you ask me what I think has changed, I think before there was this growth where it's like, okay, this is who I am. I'm okay with who I am, but also like heavily leaning on this isn't all of me. This isn't all of me, because I think before it was this is so much of me and it's a problem. And then I
Yes.
kind of overcorrected and I went to this is who I am, but it's not everything.
Right.
And I think now, after Winona Earp and the beauty of the representation in it and just the authentic love, I'm more in a headspace of, hell yeah, this is who I am.
Heck yes, this is me, and I am proud to be
I'm
me.
so proud to be here.
And look how beautiful I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday, where I'm just like, yes, this is who I am. I am proud of it, and I want to show the world who I am.
Right. Absolutely.
And we got that from Winona Earp.
We did. Which, some people might think that that's crazy, but I don't think you realize how powerful something like this can be.
Yeah. Well, and the queer experience.
Yeah.
Like, until you are on the spectrum or you know somebody and love somebody that has these feelings, you really can't understand it.
Right.
And understand how positive representation is.
Right.
And I think that's for so many groups of people that maybe have been marginalized.
Yeah.
Until you see yourself in a positive light, wow.
Yeah.
Like, we need this. We need this for all people who've been marginalized.
Which goes back to why everybody's fighting so hard for this show.
Oh gosh, yeah. And I'm so proud to join that fight.
Absolutely. So, we're kind of getting into why this show means so much to us, and we love interacting with you guys on Twitter, but we really want to hear more. Like, we would love to hear your stories.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like,
Oh, I love stories.
I love it. Well, and I love that it's just so authentic, like just the whole interaction on Twitter and with all of the Earpers, like it's real. And I love that.
And just, people commenting, like, I've seen a lot of posts where maybe someone's got something going on in their life, someone's sick, or they lost a parent, and these Earpers jump in to say, hey, we love you, we're here for you.
They're the first ones there.
I'm like, wow, what a great community.
You don't know this person.
You don't know this person.
You're sharing your love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the power of belongingness.
Yeah.
Not fitting in, belonging.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There is
They're complete
huge
opposites,
difference.
actually.
Yes, they are. And belongingness is such a beautiful thing.
It's just allowing you to be yourself in a community, not trying to fit into a community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we belong.
We do.
We really do. And we want to hear more stories of belonging. And we want to be a safe place for everybody.
Absolutely.
Just like, all these other Earpers have been for us. But we want to share our stories too. So we will continue to do that going forward. But we just wanted to kind of come in and just say, hey, we're Top Shelf Law.
And
there are two of us.
We now have a podcast.
We have a podcast.
Unreal.
Yeah. So we're kind of figuring this whole thing out as we go.
Yeah.
But
it's a new experience.
It's
definitely not used to it. I mean, we hope you guys did enjoy this.
We love the microphones.
We do love the microphones. It's honestly the best part.
Yeah.
But it is new to us. We know it's probably going to have some kinks that we've got to work out along the way. But like we said, our hope is to have some more episodes on here.
Yeah, if you like
talk
us,
about
let
some
us
more
know. Tweet at us.
stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Keep tweeting. Don't stop tweeting. Keep using the hashtags. If you forget the hashtags,
throw them back in later.
It's okay. No harm, no foul.
The things we do for hashtags.
Things that we do, man.
My God.
It's never ending.
No.
But we want to thank you guys again for jumping on this ride with us, for fighting alongside us, for sharing your stories, for participating, for loving hard without apologies.
Yes.
It's incredible. You guys are incredible. We certainly wouldn't be here without you all.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
And, we hope that you enjoyed this podcast and that you come on back. But in the meantime, we would love to hear any questions you guys have. We can try to answer those moving forward in the next podcast. I'm okay. DM us.
Yeah, DM us.
Yeah, you could do that on our Twitter account at @TopShelf_law. Or, fun fact, we now have a website.
Oh, plot twist. Another plot twist. We have a website.
We have a website. So you can go to www.topshelf-law.com. Our podcast will be there. You guys can just browse about. And then if you want to send us questions via email, you can do that too. That is topshelflaw@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you guys.
We're so excited about this.
We are, to hear what you think. We hope you enjoyed it. We love you. We want you to stay safe.
Please stay safe.
Yeah, everybody take care of one another. And keep on Earping on, man.
Heck yes.
Until next time, broadcast adjourned.